said, have you seen this new show, Titus? And I said, no, I don't watch sitcoms. Good Lord, what do you think I am? And he said, no, you must watch this show. It is hilarious. It's 10 times hilarious. It's 1,000,000 times hilarious. The star of it is so cool. He is like, it freezes you just to shake hands with him. Ultra cool, Chris Titus. We're very honored to have him with us. Chris Titus.
Well, I would like to start off by saying to all those girls in high school, see, I was cool.
What?
Told you.
Where did you go to high school?
Newark Memorial High School in Northern California, just kind of this weird, vague Newark Memorial High School.
Newark is
Newark,
outside
where there were
where?
some kids there were some guys that went to that school. Newark is right across from Fremont, California, where Christy Yamaguchi is from. A little hand for Christy, people.
Who is Christy Yamaguchi? Who is that?
Who's Christy Yamaguchi?
Is she a figure skater?
Yes. Nice.
Okay, see, I knew.
We're not playing your game right now, man.
Teasing. I was teasing. Now, what was it like? What were you like in high school?
I was a goof. I was not into drugs enough to really hang out with the stoners, and I wasn't like jock enough to be in the football team.
But you had long hair.
I had longer hair. I was heavier, a lot dorkier. I actually did get heavily into drugs for a while, and pot and drinking until I fell into a bonfire.
Good.
I was 17. Yeah, you're done then. You're done drinking at that point. You pretty much get it at that point. I'm burned up. Maybe I should stop.
Did you really get hurt?
Yeah, I still got scars from it, actually.
You're kidding. Let's see.
I fell in the well, I fell in the bonfire. I was like at the beach and I'm walking on some and I fell in the bonfire like this. And I did a push-up and the flames were like
oh my God.
And we'd been burning this telephone pole. I was on this telephone pole and I was so drunk I didn't feel anything. I just looked down and went, ah! And one of my buddies did this flip over me and just ripped me off, and then they just kind of threw a blanket over me and went, dude, sleep it off. Ooh, what a blow-it case.
So how'd you feel the next morning?
How did I feel the next morning? They took me to this emergency center near the beach, which was, it was an emergency shed. It was like it was a doctor, a lawnmower, and a rake in this place. And they basically said to me, my friends are like, my friends actually do this. Like the whole group takes me to the thing and goes, dude, man, we talked about it, and here's what happened. You're a homeless guy, and we just found you on the beach.
Now, on your show, your father plays a heartless, mean son of a bitch, supposedly based on your real father. How did your real father respond when you burned yourself so badly?
We called him, the doctors called him, and he said, he's burned up pretty bad? Okay, and he goes, all right, send him home. And he started to hang up the phone. Get your ass home. Get your ass home, quit being a wussy, and started hanging up the phone on my stake. They got my fifth stepmother, grabbed the phone out of his hand and said, where is he? And she came and got me. And what I did was after that is I swore after I fell in the bonfire, that was the last day of the junior year. Senior year, that summer, I said, I'm not going to hang out with anybody who does drugs or drinks anymore, so I joined the football team.
And how'd you do on that? You were
those guys, real clean livers, those guys.
Were you good at that?
No, actually, we had our coach was a 400-pound man named Swift, and and the weird part was that no one else got the irony of this guy, because I would be, I'm sitting there going, this is a 400-pound guy named Swift, and they'd be like, yeah, Swift!
Yeah. What was your position?
No, he's a big, huge, round, M&M-shaped guy, really slow, named after something fast. Yeah, slow, fast, Swift, M&M!
So what was your position?
I was tight end, and then what happened is we got going on football for a while. First of all, this guy would get in front of us all the time and it cracked me because this guy was the biggest guy in the world, and he would yell at us about doing push-ups and stuff. And we're a team. There's no I in team, and I am who I am. Dave, there's an M and an E. Hey, shut up, Titus. And then he would go, we're a team. Someone drops the ball, you pick it up, you run it in. If a guy falls down, you pick him up, you run it in. Because we're a team, we're a group of individuals. And I remember just getting him go, sir, excuse me, are we a group or are we individuals? Titus, do 100 push-ups. I'll tell you what, sir, I'll do 200 if you can do one. And then we were not buddies. And then my dad...
What did your dad like the football?
My dad didn't want me to be in football.
Why?
He made me quit because he...
Is that a wussy sport?
No, he didn't want to be one of those guys 15 years after high school was still telling stories about his life, which...
Well, what was your father's occupation?
That's what I do for a living now.
What was your father's occupation?
Fiberglass. He sells fiberglass.
Does he still do it?
Stuff. Yeah, he still does it.
Is he furiously mad at you because of the way you show him on Titus?
Depending on the week. You know,
He doesn't see it in advance?
Whatever episode, if he's heinous in an episode, I don't talk to him for a week until the next episode, and then when he's okay. The thing about the show is that people get, your dad's got to be mad, he's so heinous, but he's really not.
No, he's really not. He's really not.
He's always teaching.
He's always teaching, and he's really basically extremely funny. We're going to get back to that because you know what John F. Kennedy said when people said, hey, your father was a Nazi. You know what he said?
What did he say?
We've all got fathers.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, we're going to go away for a little while so that we can pay our bills. Please watch these commercials, buy every single thing they sell on them, and don't dare change the channel. We're back. We're back. Daddy. Daddy is here. From now on, everybody on the set has to call me Daddy. We're back. We're back. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Daddy is a bad word for you. No. Anyway, we're back with Ben's.
It's just a word that makes me sweat.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of this fun. My guest is Christopher Titus. We're talking about the effects of childhood on the creative process. First of all, at what age did you have the idea that you were going to be a comedian? I mean,
when I was 5 years old.
Really?
When I was 5 years old, I used to sneak out behind the couch. And the parents would get to bed, so I'd go to bed, and then Carson would be on, Tonight Show would be on, and I literally didn't care about anything else except when the comic was coming out. So I'd sneak out my door and go behind the couch and lay on the ground and watch from behind the couch.
And who was your favorite comic from those days, if you remember?
Whoever was on, you know. I remember when I was 11 and 12, I went to our local library, would let me check out stuff, and I checked out a Richard Pryor album and a George Carlin album, and I remember bringing it home. My dad would just go, why are they letting you check it? You know, I'm playing Richard Pryor, and I'm a 9-year-old. Yeah, but I got it at the library.
Did he think that would be a great job for you? Did he say, God, you're really funny, kid, you'll be great at this?
No, get a real job.
Did he ever encourage you about anything?
You know, I'll tell you what, the first time I really remember it is I was touring with Kenny Loggins. I was his opening act, and I was like 87, 88, and we got to Caesars in Tahoe, and my name, it said Kenny Loggins, and right under it. And I remember being on the strip walking out with my dad because he came down for the weekend because he likes to gamble. And I said, Dad, look. And he goes, how come Kenny Loggins' name is bigger than yours? It was like, I got no slack.
Right, but he has to have been kidding, right?
No, get a real job. He said, get a real job my whole life. He still says, get a real job until I bought him a car, then he shut the hell up.
When you were a kid, did you used to make up games?
Yeah, you know, games like make sure the house is clean enough so Dad doesn't beat you. That was a good game.
Oh, God.
Fake out the stepmom. I love that one. That was a good one.
I want to know, did your dad really
steal money from his room?
Did your dad really beat you?
No, he didn't beat me.
No.
You know? No, when I got in trouble, like when I came home, the night I burned my hands, when I came home, the stepmom came and got me at the hospital. I remember coming up and I had these big bandage hands on, and I was just in horrible shape, and my father opened the door, and he just had this big vein. His head was just a vein. This big, just... And I remember walking in, and I was so pathetic he couldn't hit me. He just kind of...
But did he ever...
And he didn't know what to do, and he just kicked me in the butt really hard. And
he actually did hit you?
He hit me, but not like, you know, not like you see in like a Tennessee Williams play. I mean, not like he just hauled off and cracked it. When I was a little kid, if I got in trouble, I got spanked. Dad was more... I think Dad stuck to the emotional abuse better, and I think... And
was he really
good for him?
Was he good at that? Was he good at that?
Very good at that. He's never going to mount anything.
Now, these things... They don't seem right offhand to be that funny. No. I mean, your father kicks you and hits you, or emotionally abuses you. You have
if you don't see the comedy in that, man, there's something wrong with you inside.
So,
you have no soul, Ben.
So at a certain age, you obviously thought, I'm going to make this seem funny. Now, when you go back to your father...
My dad's very funny. That's why.
So he thinks it's
listen,
funny.
You got this guy who basically, his first wife, my real mother, was mentally ill.
And where is she now, by the way?
She's not around anymore.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I talk about it in the show, No Knuckles Bleeding, and she killed herself. And what happened is that Dad...
Whoa, that's very sad.
It's very sad. But what happened was, oddly enough, therapy, what had happened was, Mom wouldn't take her medication. A lot of schizophrenics like the highs and lows, and Mom liked the highs and lows. And, but she'd also did a lot of heinous things, and my dad made him very bitter about things. And so... he had this, so then again, he had this little kid. So they had a kid together, and I'm like 2 and 3, and he had to raise his kid all by himself. And he had a wife that was going to court and fighting. In the old days, they would just give the kid to the mom because that was the nurturer. But in my case, the nurturer, she was a paranoid schizophrenic.
But the guy that you're always beating up on in your show actually was the nurturer.
Yeah. He
if there
fed
was,
me. No, but yes, he was, in a weird way. And he taught me what he had to do, but he also had to hold a full-time job, and he had to be gone sometimes.
Now, you have a one-man show called Norman Rockwell is Bleeding.
Right, that's
now,
where the show came from.
And where'd you get the title, though? Where's the title come from?
I used to really stand-up, stand-up got really bad for a while. It got really like, hey, you ever notice when you go to the store and you buy stuff? And it was just lame, and I did that for a while. And I was on the road, and I was good, and I was headlining, but I wasn't talking about anything. Hey, you go snowboarding, and you go down the mountain, there's this little kids that are really good on snowboard. It was just lame. So I had this friend, I go audition for the Montreal Comedy Festival, and Bruce Smith, a great friend of mine, and also my agent, took me aside, and I have this great audition, and he goes, what the hell are you doing? And I said, I just had a good show. He goes, no, you didn't. You didn't have a good show. He goes, you're not talking about anything. He goes, if you don't want to listen to my advice and talk about what your real life is, what we're talking about, he goes, then you don't have to be in my agency anymore.
So you are not only an incredibly funny guy, but the first guy in the history of Hollywood to have ever gotten a good suggestion.
I got a great agent, yeah.
From his agent. Okay, on that note, after these interruptions, we're going to be back with more Chris Titus. If you change the channel, court will take notice.
Nice.
It was so cold this morning, I got down into my kitchen and my cat was lying there dead and he was bald, but the dog was standing next to him with this kitty fur hat and kitty fur mittens.
I stopped drinking when I was 17 years old because it's not good for your health, and I fell into a bonfire. Yeah, you're done then. You don't need AA. Falling into a bonfire is a one-step program.
Welcome back to Turn Ben Stein On. My guest is Chris Titus. Now, you were saying about your one-man show, Norman Rockwell is Bleeding. That's reference to the all-American wholesome scenes painted by Norman Rockwell.
Well, then we found out, well, yeah, I think what was the most wholesome family image? It was Norman Rockwell, all those paintings he did. We come to find out that Norman Rockwell was treated for manic depression in his life. So this guy that painted all these wonderful scenes of American history was supposedly
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. That's well, the point of the whole show is everybody screwed up, and you should just accept it. And we've actually got to this poor me area in society that it's like, you know, my life sucks because of my parents. No, your life sucks because you choose to let it suck.
Well put, well put.
Yeah.
We all have a charge of our life every day. Now, your father did a lot of terrible things to you, or at least so you say. What's the worst thing you ever did to him in real life?
The worst thing I ever did to my father.
In real life?
In real life. He says I caused him his first heart attack.
Now, how did you do that?
Okay, my car had broken down at his house.
Yeah, how old was he?
He was, what is he, 48 maybe? 46, 47, and my car broken in his house, so I fixed it with a part from his boat.
Oh.
I was a struggling comic. I didn't have any money to buy what I needed. So my dad the next week was going to take friends out on the boat.
Oh my God.
And he went to the boat. And he goes, I'm gonna see if the boat can get started, and the boat wouldn't start, and he didn't know what the hell was going on. So he started taking the boat apart.
Oh no.
And the further he got into it, he couldn't figure it out, put it all back together, still wouldn't start, and he found out that I took off the ballast resistor off of it.
The ballast resistor?
It's a little piece about this big. He got angry and started having chest pains. And here's my father. He didn't call an ambulance.
He had a cigarette, right?
Yeah,
a cigarette.
he drove himself to the hospital.
That's great. Well, he didn't want to be a wussy.
He didn't want to be a wussy. That's it, man. He walked
Now,
in.
what?
And the first thing he said, I go to see him in ICU, and he's got tubes in him and stuff. First thing I said, Dad, are you okay? The first thing he said to me is, how's your car running?
Oh, that's very funny. He's really funny.
He's very funny. And, that's what I say about it. He raised this little kid, so he had to be funny. So he's got this little kid who's got a mom in a mental hospital. Dad's dating all these women, and I'm going to parties with my dad at times, and he's 70s and stuff. And he had to keep it funny because
otherwise he'd all cry.
Otherwise, I'm just this kid who just like a screwed up life, and instead of having a TV show, I'm killing people.
In that same vein, what does it mean to be a man in today's world? That's a hard one, right?
It seems to change. You have to be sensitive. You have to be strong. I think women have backed off this thing about you need a sensitive guy. Women want.
No, they want you to slay them
They want a
and
guy
slap
that
them around.
kicks some ass.
Yeah, they do. They want. I get
Financially,
Yeah.
and also I think now more than anything is it's got to be responsible to your kid. And the one thing my dad was, even though his methods were bizarre, was responsible to his kid.
I get emails from women night and day. A lot of them are very, very sexually charged. I don't know why.
Look at you.
Well,
Look
wait,
at you.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
You're a pretty man.
No, I don't know why. But they
Not many people can make green and pink work like that.
They all say,
Give it up, people.
No, they all say they want me to slap them around.
That's
I'm
right.
not kidding. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird, but
Really?
they all say that.
You know
of course,
why?
my
If you walk
wife
out on the
wouldn't like
stage,
it if
you
I
shake
did. What?
Because when you walk on the stage, you shake it a little bit and they get them.
I think so. Now,
My wife will not shut up about you.
you're kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. Are there some stories from your childhood that are so horrible that they can't be on your show?
No. My mom
Anything.
shot and killed her last husband.
And that'll be on the show.
Yeah, I say last husband because you don't get another one after that. But yes, that will be on it.
Well, some do.
True story. I got a call day after Thanksgiving. I'm a struggling comic living in San Francisco, and I get a call day after Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is a tense time.
Yeah. Well, especially with hi, so this is Ira Stevenson. Yeah, who is this? It's like 6 in the morning. I'm your mom's lawyer, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm used to this time. And it says, well, your mom is killed her husband, and wow, that's a new one. She hasn't done that before. And mom, this guy, and here's the thing, the guy had beaten the crap out of my mom, and he was an oil rig worker. And he took it so far that she went upstairs and shot him. And guess what?
Wow.
She went to trial, got acquitted, and got the guy's $100,000 life insurance policy.
Wow.
Come on, people! Come on!
Okay. I wish we had some insurance companies advertising on the show. I'm not sure we do. Anyway, we've got to advertise something, otherwise we can't pay for our craft services. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Chris is going to show me how to kill someone.
I'll show you how to kill a guy.
This week on Two Men.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Turn Ben Stein, also known as Daddy on. We're here with the somewhat damaged but incredibly funny Chris Titus, and I want to say this. I am not generally a big sitcom fan, but his show, Titus, is just a scream. It's a wonderful show. He and I are going to do a cop show next. It's going to be He Had a Lobotomy. He Had the Extra Lobe.
I got the extra low.
Together, they're a cop and a half. He doesn't care. He cares
Way too much.
Together, they're trouble. Anyway, he has a hidden talent. It's not going to be hidden much longer. It's the ability to kill someone quickly and silently. And he's going to now show me with Taekwondo.
I think that because I hate
And
running.
Yaniv, my bodyguard, is going to come here. This is Yaniv, my bodyguard. And he's going to show Yaniv.
So you take Taekwondo because you think, no one ever messes with me. I'm a 6'2" blonde guy. No one ever went up. Like you, no one walks up to you and goes, come on. No one does that. No one's stupid. So I never needed it to fight because no one wants to fight me. And I don't want to fight, but I needed it because I hated running. So I took Taekwondo. And then, so we go to our white belt test. And this is the first move we're taught in our first takedown. So if you're going to throw a punch, right? Okay, so I'd go high block, right? Step behind you to your sternum, okay? To your face.
Oh.
Grab your shirt and kick this leg out. Go down, kick this leg out, and punch you in the face, and then stomp on your head. And the master Nick Palucci, who's brilliant, he goes, okay, that's move number 1. And I remember just going,
I'm scared already.
Yeah,
All right,
and if you do it real fast, it's really scary, and you know, and you can hurt somebody. So that's why I don't do it.
Okay, well, if we're on another season, you can kill me next season. Thank you so much for being on Chris Titus. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Yaniv. Thank you very much. Yaniv Malka.
Very nice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yaniv Malka. Chris, thank you so much. Now what we usually do is just a few push-ups to show that we're still alive and that we're still friends. Ready? Go.